Hello, it's Charles Antis from Antis Roofing. This month's question on Roofer's Coffee Shop is, what about succession planning? That's a great question, but I'd like to back that up because that's a big model, a big undertaking if you're just trying to sell shingles on a roof. So if you want to be around and you want your company to be around and you want maybe some extra fine employees or family to carry this on, I think you first have to think in terms of survival. 3 out of 5 roofers will be out of business in 5 years or something directionally close to that. Very few make it successfully. So let's focus on succession planning first and survival. And if you want to survive, you need to be relevant, you need to connect, and you need to have some planning for the future. So how many of you are looking at succession planning that haven't even finished your estate planning? What's estate planning? That's what happens to you when you die and your assets. So I would say if you don't have an estate attorney, that's the most critical focused item. You need to get a good estate planning attorney, and let me tell you, a good estate planning attorney, even if your affairs are a little bit complicated, can get this done relatively quickly. There's also some out there that don't do a good job. Get your items and your past for your family and your loved ones sewn up, and then it's like you can explode. If you don't sew it up, you won't get there. You won't sleep as well at night. So to have a solid company that you can pass on, and when you have your estate planning, I think the next most important thing is to learn how to build a company that can sell. A company that can sell has books that can be followed and mastered and understood and duplicated, and therefore it can have a growth model attached to it. So that is a great criteria. Where did I learn that? That's my next suggestion. Join a CEO group. The largest one in the world is called Vistage. I'm a big fan of Vistage, been a member for 7 years. Vistage is an incredible organization to help us craftsmen, roofers, learn knowledge about banking, about operations in a big way, and that allows us to grow. And finally, if you're looking to have a plan for the future, and you have somebody that has the right character and that right moxie to carry it forward, you want to make sure that you're aligned. Do you guys want to grow a massive company? Well, you need to know very few make it, so you better take care of some of the other things that I mentioned. But also, most companies that survive, some grow into mass companies, none just hover too well. You're either growing or dying, so you have to have a growth model. But there's that $1.5 to $3 million sweet spot where your operational expenses and investment are not too high yet, and that's not a bad place to be. That's where you have the highest margin return. So find what your goals are, get aligned, and attack. The last thing I'll say is critical, and it's important, and it's old news, but it's true for this and any other venture, and that is what Darwin said. Darwin nailed, if you want to have a succession plan, you better survive. And the secret to survival is simple. According to Darwin, it's not the strongest or the fastest that survive, but the most adaptable to change. Have a good month.